theme of the exhibition is the way in which the River Thames has provided a source of creative inspiration for artists in the borough. It's a bit of unexplored territory really for the museum. And we came up with this idea of the creative flow, Kingston Art and the River. And really the exhibition's just sort of come together quite naturally. So out of the historic collection, we've started to be able to show works that haven't been seen for a long time. One of the reasons that we've partnered with Totally Thames is that it enables us to place our story within a larger phenomenon and to show how this relates to a larger history, to a national history, and to a larger enjoyment of the River Thames. And I think that's important for the artists who are working with us as well, that through Totally Thames we'll be able to profile their work and bring attention to people who enjoy the River Thames and who may not have come across Lindsay Russell's work or Alexander Beer's photography of the Thames.
The water is fascinating. You're just watching the activity on it and the activity in it. You get this amazing sort of movement on the boat. So I started using trays of river water, adding in powders and inks and geodes and spheres, and just seeing the effect it made and the movement of the water, how it affected the images. And then it was just fascinating watching the undulating paints and inks that I used to create these images move naturally and watch how the river moved them. It feels like I'm working with the boat. My boat's called Solaris, so kind of working in harmony with the movement of the boat and the movement I make. I put one of those images onto a silk. I thought, how would it look on silk? And then the wind was blowing, and the idea of having the silk blowing in the wind, I loved it. And I placed it on deck and had it float away and looked at the shapes and filmed it.
The exhibition starts with the historic and the idea of the pictorial history of representation of the river. So we start with this connection to Turner and this connection to the Pre-Raphaelites and to Millais and the painting of the Hogs Mill. I discovered that Turner had painted Kingston Bank, which is a big oil that's in the Tate, and he was here painting in 1805 and sketching along the river. But then we also have a connection between the Pre-Raphaelites in Kingston. Millais's family was based in Kingston, and he came down to paint where he met Holman Hunt, and Holman Hunt and he would look for sites along the river, and most famously, of course, he painted Ophelia on the Hogs Mill, and then also bringing it into the contemporary and to have a very sort of personal response from Lindsay Russell to her experience of living on the river. So there's lots of different facets to this exhibition.
What I found fascinating with water is that if you leave it long enough and you let the waves of the river rock, you end up getting the same shapes as you do in space, which is why I've called the piece in the exhibition Aquanebula. It's a mini water aquanebula made naturally by the movement of the waves. So like the waves in space are actually the waves in water. We're all connected. Water alchemy is capturing space on Earth. I've got 2 bronzes going in, which I'm very excited about. One is Siren's Reach, which is a hand coming out of the water and bronze dripping. And the other is fish, bronze fish, the solid bronze. Basically what happened was we were pouring the hand and something broke. A lot of bronze spilt, and you can see it was hardening, and within the bronze I peeled up pieces and realised that you could make this shape into a fish, and this was more like seaweed, and then it kind of worked it around that way, and then, oh my gosh, that sits on there. It's very organic. And what I love about this part of the work is you can choose where you highlight. So I can highlight this bit here and it just gives it a lift just there. So it's a bit like painting, only with a wire brush. And I could bring the whole lot up to this level or just pick bits out. So it's actually, although I'm just polishing it, I'm not just polishing it, I'm actually looking at it thinking, yeah, I'll bring this bit up here. So look, this will look.
And I think that's one of the things we're trying to achieve with the exhibition, is to take it from the historic right up to the present day and to chart the story from traditional art through into the contemporary and the digital. So we'll be charting this long history back to the 17th century. When I started to do the research, I just opened up this huge archive of material. And actually I could have filled the walls of the gallery, I could have filled it about 3 times over.